Welcome to today's live. Hello. How is everybody doing? Can you hear me loud
Mr.
and clear?
Quantum, I can hear you loud and clear.
Wow.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Wow. Who can tell that I'm excited? I'm extremely excited. I am overly excited. Like, I keep looking for all these adjectives when I'm online, right? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's live. Today we are here to talk about why can't we stop talking about consistency, right? What is
Right.
this consistency thing that Esabria has been talking
Is
about? So
this live? Is this live on your personal page or just in the group? Which one?
it's live on my business page. So you can
Only
share
on your
it
business
there.
page?
Yes, it's live in the group and it's live on my yep, I see it.
Because I'm trying
It's
to
actually
share it. I
better
can't.
to share It's actually better to share from the public page. That's why I go live there.
Wait, the page or your personal? Because I can't see it on your profile.
Go to it's not on the page. It's live on it's live on YouTube, it's live on so search Dr. Esivere with the dot, the
Doctor
529
Isabel.
CEO. Yeah, I can hear. Let me go to that page and see, but I think it's live there. Okay, guys, just give us a minute. We want to be sure that you all can hear us. And if you are there, let's know who is watching and where you are watching from. Can you see it?
No, I can't see it yet. But unless you tag me
Maybe
on
it
it,
takes
so
a
I can.
while to come. Let me see. Let me look for it and then send it to you.
Yeah, if you send it to me, that would be perfect.
Awesome. So let's know as you're coming on board, let's know who you are and where you are watching us from. This
Man, I miss being
evening,
on live though. I haven't been on live for a while now.
I
It's
know
very
that's
brought me out today, hasn't it?
right.
That'll be an awesome ride, awesome experience. It made me to
Let's
remember the first day I was live on Facebook. Listen, I was sweating. I was sweating like a he goat,
I sent
and
it to your WhatsApp. Check
people
and
were
see.
watching me. People thought that I was just vibrating in the spirit. I was so scared to death.
Was it an invite or was it live?
It was live. It was live. I was so scared to death, but when I was done, I was proud of myself. I'm like, okay,
I think I
you know,
remember that video if I can
you
recall,
do
if my
right.
mind permits me. Can you find it now?
Yeah, I think I've seen it now.
Okay, nice. Hello, everybody. So, officially, welcome to today's live. My name is Dr. Esevere, and of course, I have my special guest here, Ify Mccoy. He's been running away, right? He was supposed to be here last month, but
Yeah,
he had
it
a
was.
personal incident and he couldn't make it. And so, we thought about bringing him on this month because we can't stop talking about consistency. It's not a topic that we can exhaust. I've been talking to people in the back end, talking to people offline, online, and this happened to be a struggle, right? So why should we stop talking about it, right? So
Hmm?
that's what we're going to continue the discussion on today. I see some people are joining. Please just don't pick at us. Let us know who
It's
is in the
something.
comment section. If you are watching from the group, grant StreamYard access so we can see your name. And if you're watching from the page, you should be fine. Please keep this as interactive as possible. If you are on YouTube, hey, my YouTube fans, I am trying to grow my audience on YouTube, but welcome to today's live. So please have your questions ready, like I've been sharing. Let's have our questions. If you have questions to blast this guy right here, he is up to the task.
The one I cannot answer, I cannot answer, I cannot think.
Okay, so we're going to make this as interactive as possible,
Mhm.
as practical as possible. Pardon my voice. I might be struggling here. I have cold. I caught cold from my son. He brought it from school and he passed it on to me. I'm hoping I don't cough while we're on here. But if I do, forgive me. If you're watching this on replay, don't hesitate to leave us a hashtag replay just so that we can come back and engage with you. I see you, Euphemia. Is that her name? She says she's watching from Dallas. Hey, lady. Thank you for
All right.
joining. Thank you for coming on and, joining us. Let's know. if you have any questions as we go along. So I'm gonna leave Ify to Ify is actually my friend, and so that's why I'm kind of relaxed, not my normal.
No
But
man, no man.
everyone that's come here has actually been my friend. But I want Ify to introduce himself. Ify, tell us more about you, especially for my audience that don't know you. Who
Well,
is Ify?
my name is Mccoy. It's a various friend. We leave it at that now. Maybe when we are done with the program, they can tag me a name they want. How about that?
Oh my God, that's the shortest bio you can imagine, and then you had to attach
Let's
it to me.
let what we say tonight define us. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
When you
Awesome. I
brought
love
up the
that.
when you brought up the title consistency and inconsistency, it got me so well because I know that's what I'm going through right now. So today you don't have experts to tell you what you need to do. You have people who are going through the same thing you're going through. So we're gonna have rubbing minds together. You're gonna tell me what I need to do to get out of this zone I am. I'm gonna tell you what I think you need to do to get out of that zone that you are in right now. So that's why I think today's program is so special. It's a very
You are absolutely right. You mentioned something when we started and we're just, chit chatting. You're like, you haven't been live for a while, right? So, for
right.
those of you that don't know, if he has a brand called Unscripted Voices, and maybe he will tell us about it, or maybe he'll tell us why he slowed down on, we haven't been seeing him online. He hasn't been consistent. So, just
Yeah,
that's why.
I'm gonna tell them all the excuses I have, which is good. Which is good. We all have those excuses. I'm
Yeah,
gonna share my own part of excuse because the last time I checked, no matter how genuine an excuse is, it never ceases from being an excuse. So, but we're gonna come to that later on the show. But I don't know how it's a very one this show to go today. But we're talking about consistency and its power. I saw a quote today. I think it's one of the most interesting saying I've heard when it comes to consistency. It says, you can say, you say, if you stop, then you can't say it didn't work.
that's right.
If you stop for whatsoever reason, you can never say it didn't work. If you are not consistent, you can't say it didn't work. So how can you be so sure that it didn't work when you stop? Is a question. But we're gonna dealing with a lot of times when we talk about hard work, perseverance, and consistency, and coming out and having presence and doing the same thing. Life happens to us. What do you do? It's a very when life happens to you. We're not just gonna come up here and speak the grammars and they
We're
have
keeping it
some
real today, Ify. That's why I brought you
paralysis
on board. We're
have
keeping it
paralysis of
real.
analysis, what you need to do to start up your business. All those things are good talk, but what do you do when life happens to you? And that's why I think that what you're doing here is so exceptional because you are combining teaching business for starters and also life coaching. People just talk about the business aspect of it, talk about why you need to invest, how you need to invest, all those stuff. But nobody talks about when life happens to you. How do you bring out those, like I said, everything being the reason why I slow down in my program is going to end up as an excuse. The fact that the universe
Right.
will not wait for you. It doesn't matter how hard it is right now, the universe is not going to wait for you. What are you going to do in those situations? All right. So we're going to be looking into all those, little stuff that has kept us down for a very long time. It's going to be an awesome day today.
Yes, yes, yes. If you're feeling the heat, I want you to, type fire. The fire emoji. I want you to put it in the comment section. If you're already feeling the heat, guys.
Yeah.
The reason why we can't stop talking about this is because for some reason, for some strange reason, or maybe just how life is,
Right.
consistency is major. Like, I look to my left, I look to my right. I have been in business now full time, maybe going on 2 years. I'm looking at those that have been maybe 20 years, 10 years, 5 years. Everybody's speaking the same English. Everybody's saying the same thing. The gurus are like, if you want to make progress, you have to stay focused. You have to stay consistent. You have to stay focused on this one thing, right? So it's very important. But at the same time, why is it so hard?
Why is
Why
it
is
so?
it? I
I think one of the reasons why it's hard is a lot of time we focus so much on the result than the process. And if your greatest motivation for whatever you're doing is the outcome of the result, you might have a huge problem. We keep saying about the process. You need to somehow find joy in the process. If you can find joy in the process, you can sustain the momentum. Now, let me give you why we quit. We don't quit because you're tired, etc. Nobody does that. The reason why you quit is not because nobody's supporting you. The single reason why a lot of time we quit is because we are not patient enough to see result. Think about the greatest motivational speakers you've ever seen today. None of them, none of them motivates you more than your result. None. If you set yourself a goal of what you want to achieve and you achieve it, see, there is nothing that is so exciting than that. There is nothing that is inspiring and motivating. But the problem is how many of us are patient enough to see the result. And most and oftentimes, when it's like a seed. When you plant that seed on the ground, you don't want to wake up every morning, open the ground to see if the seed is coming out. You don't
that's
want to go
right.
about telling everyone about the seed you planted. And that is the problem. But the seed grows in darkness. The seed will break itself out when it's time. You don't go about talking about the seed you planted. When it's time, the seed don't need you to tell people. It's gonna come up in due time, right? Just rain
That's right.
does not beg you to come out. Oh, come and plug me and ripe. When it's ripe, you're gonna go there. But in that situation, what do you do to remain focused? Because there will be a lot of distractions, especially when the result is not coming. So, like we said, now we are treating already the first step. The first step is find joy in the process because the process is gonna be long. Mhm. It's gonna be long. It's a very say this is your second year. There have been people doing what you're doing for the past 20 years. There are two things that are sustaining them. One is the joy they get in the process. Two is the result they get. But you need one. The first one is the enjoyment you get from the process that gives you momentum, that gives you the impetus to keep going until the result shows. So we have already learned one thing today: learning to enjoy the process. You want to respond quickly on that?
Yeah, actually, the way let me put it another way is enjoying the journey, right?
Mm.
Which I've always emphasized on. I tell people I use this analogy a lot, and I used to say it maybe some years ago. I stopped saying it for a while now, but you're gonna go from point A to point B, right? But there is you really can't, or let me use, I say point A to point Z, right? You are
Mhm.
promised, you definitely, if you put in the work, you will go from point A to point Z. But you don't know what's going to happen between A and B, B and C, C and D till you get to Z, right?
Right.
And you don't even know how long it's going to take.
Nope.
So if you're not patient, if you quit, if you give up, you may never get to Z. You may stop at maybe D or E because it's become tough, right? The journey is hard.
Hmm.
So the only way for you to be able to get to Z is to stay consistent. Whether it's happening, whether it's not happening, whether you whether you're seeing the fruits or you're not seeing the fruit, because you said something. You talked about planting a fruit, right? You don't, or planting a seed. You don't go there and start searching for the seed. The seed will take time to start germinating, depending on the kind of seed that you planted.
Right.
So a lot of times we come into this entrepreneurial journey, we look at all these big gurus, we want to be them, like, and that can lead to frustration,
You can.
especially with social media. You're watching all these things and you're consuming, you're digesting, and you're like, when am I going to be that? Forgetting that it took these people a while to get there, right? So the only way for you to be consistent is to acknowledge where you are and enjoy the process rather than
It's a very you froze for a second. I don't know if you
my
can hear
network.
me.
Okay, I think it tripped up. Another
Can
thing I
you?
want to mention is your why is really very important. And I think we've said this previous months, right?
Mhm.
Why are you even on that journey in the first place? If you're not on that journey for the right purpose, it's easy for you to quit. It's easy for you not to stay consistent.
All right.
Life would always happen. In my little experience, I'm seeing that things will come in, whether we like it or not, and that's why it's called life. When it happens, what happens? Do you stop or do you continue from where you stopped? A lot of people get stuck and then life happens and then they wither away. But that's why I've been talking about consistency because
Now
it's not about you
let's
being, go
yeah,
ahead.
let's connect it. Let's connect with, because if we keep using the word, consistency, it looks so big and so vague, and people keep hearing of that word. They don't know how to go about it. But let's use the word reputation. Let's see what makes a great lawyer, a great doctor, what makes them great. If you really look at it, it is repetition, doing the same thing every single day, every single day, every single day, until one day you come into the office and say, "Oh, you have headache, you haven't slept in days." They say, "Okay, this is what we suspect." It's not just what they studied, it's just doing the same thing, the same routine. It could be as little as anything. And that's what I've come to learn is the power of consistency. Because see, what makes or what shapes our lives as humans are not the intensity of the work we put in 4 months, 2 months, 3 months, but the things we do slowly every single day, every single day. Like for instance, in unscripted voices, we the next book we are reading is starting next Sunday, and we talked about reading an organized book. That every single day we read 1 hour, 1 hour of your time to study. All right, 300 days a year. Let's remove the little ones that might not be possible, but let's keep it 300 days a year, right? And you
Right?
reading every single day, 1 hour every single day. In the next 2 years, that's about 600 hours invested in studying. And you might not know how big of this investment is. You don't know. But because of the little repetition that you having, you are getting yourself accustomed to a routine, to a plan. Like you said, you were talking about having your why, but I want to define a plan. Let's call it a plan. Let's say you have a plan to lose weight. Of course, the first thing you want to do is to identify a desired outcome. Why do you want to lose weight? It could be I want to lose weight because I want to be healthy. I want to live long to see my kids. I've seen a story where a guy was in the hospital and the doctor asked him, "Do you want to live to see your 7-year-old daughter get married and have kids?" He said, "Yes." He said, "Well, if you don't change your diet today, you might not achieve that goal." He said, right there in that hospital, that was when he decided to work on his health. See, that was his goal
Strong
of
conviction.
losing weight. So now
Yeah.
that is a desired goal or a desired outcome of your goal. And then when you're done with a desired outcome of your goal, you want to look at the big why, which is after you have achieved your healthy body, I want to see my daughter get married. I want to see my grandchildren. And then you develop plans to do that, setting goals to help you. It could be running 3 miles every single day. But in this whole process, remember you talked about life happening. I think by there's a book by uh, Gates. I forgot the last name, but the first name is Gate. It's called Deep. Now, Deep is a very interesting book. It talks about life happening to you.
Mhm.
And Challenges and circumstances comes. You see, it's easier for challenges to come when you haven't achieved anything. Like you started your business right now. It's easier for you to be inspired all the way if you never got any single client until you get one. But the hardest thing for you to do is after getting one client, two client, you stop. Nobody's calling you. Nobody's talking about you. Nobody's replying your email for 5 months, 6 months, 1 year. What do you do? Then you are in deep. What do you do in that point in time when everything ceases? Then you begin to question the reason why you started. Because now the reason you started, the big why, are the things that will keep you focused and consistent. Because at this point, your mind is everywhere. Right now, you are about to change career. And right now, you are about to quit. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong in quitting. It's just quitting for the right things. It's the story people talk about don't quit, don't quit. Sometimes there are some certain things you need to quit.
Right?
Like quitting from having all those things that are cluttering your mind, quitting from doing things that are distracting you. There are things we all need to quit at one point in life. But you want to be careful not to quit on the wrong things. Like I said, the last discussions we had, sometimes most of us, or some of us, I would say, have already quit without knowing that we have quit.
Hmm.
So right now, all we're doing is just giving excuses why things are not working, giving excuses why we need to jump into another career. And there's always the universe is so designed with excuses that if you are looking for one right now, you
It
will
will
find
load you with a lot.
it's always there. There is a whole reason why this life shouldn't be taking place right now. You either take it or
I'm
you leave
telling
it.
you.
So the question you want to ask yourself is this: there are so many things in the world that the universe will give you for you to use for your own benefit. But excuses is not one of them I should advise you to take. All right. So, like we said, life is going to happen, and it's going to happen to each and every single one of us. As Dr. Miles Monroe would say, that challenges has not come to stop you, it has only come to test you. Because the universe will test you with that dream, test you with that idea to know how
How
authentic it is,
serious you are, right?
to know if you are
You know
actually
about that.
born for this or you just desire it out of the social media. Because there's a lot of things we desire because we see someone doing it. We think that, oh, we want the fame, we want the accolade, we want the kind of lifestyle that is associated with that idea. So we jump onto it. And that is why the universe will test you from left and right. So, like I said, you would have to graduate in the university of life. That's when they test you, you gotta graduate. You gotta remain strong. And I want to say it's not easy because that would be a lie. It's easy. I'm changing my confession right now. What difference will it make if I tell you it's not easy? All right. So we gotta have a plan. Everything has to be strategic for us to evolve into what we really want, etc.
Yes, you're so right. If he, I love the way you're talking about it and talking passionately about it, right? That's why when I was thinking about, doing this and keep like repeating it, just staying consistent on the topic.
Yeah.
I didn't want to run away from it because I knew that it wasn't something that we're just going to discuss one time and that's it. This is life right here. This is something that if you interview 100 people, even the people that are staying consistent, they'll tell you how much effort that they're putting in just to stay consistent. It's a lot. But the thing is, you're not going to get that desired result if you don't stay consistent. So that's why it's really important, especially in life and business, right?
Right.
One thing I want to address here is, you know, what are like because when you were speaking, you mentioned, when life happens, and then of course we know that if we don't do it, if we don't keep at it, if we don't, you used a definition saying re- something we repeat, right? Something we do
Right.
repeatedly. That's what showing up consistently, repeatedly. You do it today, you do it tomorrow, or you do it a week, depending on what the frequency is. One thing I would advise, just looking back, I feel like one thing that can help, especially for aspiring entrepreneur, if you're looking into, going full time at some point or you're already full time, do not bite more than you can chew in order to be able to stay consistent. It actually helps a lot. A lot of times we want to just, grab, like, I will do this, I will do it. And then you set these goals. It's not like you shouldn't set big goals, but set your goals in ways that you can consistently show up for your business.
Mhm.
Because a lot of times we stop being consistent when we get overwhelmed. We stop being consistent when life happens. We stop being consistent when we feel stuck, right? So, and your body, because of the way we are programmed, if you're not showing up consistently, if you're not doing that thing repeatedly, you begin to feel like a failure. And then by the time your mind start messing with you, that can lead to you stopping completely.
Yep.
You understand what I mean? And
Hmm.
then before you know what's happening, you feel like, okay, I'm a loser, or maybe this thing is not for me. And the next thing you're looking for another big thing.
Right.
The best thing is to start and start gradually based on your circumstance. Putting the word consistently or coming out repeatedly or however you want to put it.
Right.
Start little by little, like bite little bits. When you can swallow, you can now add more. The reason I'm saying this is because we have a lot of people, the people that I serve are mostly people that are building a business around their 9 to 5, right? It's harder for somebody that is building a business and also running a 9 to 5. You have every reason to give up. If you still work your job, you know how hard you were just talking about. We have 101 reasons why you shouldn't show up even in today's life.
Right.
Like at some point, I was like, okay, my voice is not good, but I already committed. Like I already made a commitment. I have to be here, right? So I have to do it, even if I have to come here with my chapped voice. I have to do what I have to do. But if I'm not committed, and if I've not chosen to show up consistently for this, I could have just, called you up and said, you know what? I have a cold. I don't feel good. And the minute you begin to tell yourself all these things, life is just,
But
it's
but the,
good
but
and
the
bad.
question is the question is like Eric Thomas will say, what do you do when there are millions of people looking for what you are looking for? What do you do when
You
there are thousands of people looking for what you are looking for?
you go for it. You can't afford to stop.
Consistency is not just about doing something, it's about sticking your butt in one thing until people start noticing you. Or should I say, people who actually need you start noticing you.
That makes me
It might
remember.
look like nobody's seeing you right now, or it could be that the wrong people are seeing you. It could be the people that are seeing you right now are not the ones that needs you or needs your services or needs to hear your voice. But there is no alternative way to put yourself out there than doing the same thing little by little every single day. Like we said about the process, we give up most times because we don't get enough accolades on social media, for instance. And when we make our little post, one like, two likes, I'd be like, damn, I thought this would break the internet. The next day you make a post, nobody shares it. You be like, damn, I thought this is gonna be. And um I made this example before that I have a lot of quote I believe that are very inspiring. I believe that if someone as big as Les Brown or Jay-Z or Beyonce and the likes of big people out there make the same quote, it will go viral. So why didn't the quote I made go viral? Sometimes it's not about what you are doing, but who is doing it. So the level I am right now, I'm not consistent enough to be noticed globally yet. So if I allow the little, I don't know what to call it, expectations that I have in my mind to jeopardize the chances of me doing the same thing every other single day, then I have a huge problem. And that is why a lot of people are facing it right now, because we have little expectations in our mind in the next 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. We are blown, we do this, which is okay. Because as you have those big plans, that keeps your momentum high for the next 10 years, you need those little plans that sustains your momentum today. Because it's all about result. Like I said, you have to somehow make sure that every single day you go to bed, there is something you accomplish that is related to your ultimate goal,
Yes.
that keeps the engine running, that keeps the expectation afresh. If you don't associate your ultimate goal, desired result, with little steps that is being achieved daily, you might have a huge problem, because result is the greatest inspiration you can get. So if you put all the results you want to achieve in the, it's gonna be every month, or every other month, or every 1 year, consistency might be far. And I heard this heartbreaking story. This is
Mm.
a true story, yo. This guy is from UK. I think this story was told by one of my mentors, Jay Shetty. He talks about this man that plays the lottery. Now he uses his birthday. The survey has frozen again. He uses his
It's
birthday
frozen again.
to play
Okay.
the lottery, right? So
Mm-hmm.
every single week, whatever his birthday was, whether it's 17, 18, 1986, whatever thing it is, he plays it. He been playing this same number for the past 7 to 10 years consistently. He never wins anything. So every other week for 10 years, this guy was playing the same number. Now, this faithful week, he was a little bit reluctant. Well, I have played this number for the past 10 years. Well, this week won't be, it won't really be hard. I'll play again next week. Lo and behold, that week he didn't play. The same number he has played for 10 years, he hit the lottery. This guy
Wow.
committed suicide the next week because he couldn't live with the regrets.
Just when he dropped the ball.
The regrets
Hmm.
of quitting is always worse than regrets of not even getting started.
Yep.
Because we're not talking about people who haven't getting started. Because I believe another day could be another topic for those who want to get started but don't know how to get started, or who are looking for motivation to start, or who are looking for
That's a
momentum,
different
who
ball
are looking,
game.
that's a different topic. I'm speaking about the people who have already started this journey, the journey in discovering your purpose, the journey in pursuing your dreams, the journey in pursuing your passion. I'm talking about people who have started this journey, but things are so hard right now, and they're saying, why am I even doing this? There's power in that consistency. And you're not going to feel like doing it every day. And that's the point. We're going to come to that right now. What do
Yeah.
you do when you don't feel like doing it?
Hmm.
Because when you're getting started, there's so much inspiration, so much motivation. You are highly gingered. You know what I'm saying? We've been there. You are so pushed. You feel that if they bring the devil right now, you're going to devour the devil. They bring whoever they bring right now, you can deal with that person, which is good. Then you get to the point of deep, when you have achieved a little bit of results, then all of a sudden, nothing happens again. Then what do you do at that point? And that's why I tell people that whenever you start feeling that way, there is something that is highly imminent. Your breakthrough is not far. Because at that point, There's a separation between boys and men.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, you want to quit. There are other millions of people who are quitting. So the difference between successful and unsuccessful most of the time is in that borderline. What do I do right now? There is no result. What do I do right now? Nobody's talking about me. What do I do right now? There is no progress. Just show up. When you feel it, show up. When you don't feel it, show up. I keep saying this. Keep doing the nonsense. One day,
Until it
the
makes
sense
sense.
will come out without the none. And that is when you start making sense. So I believe that we are halfway towards making someone not to give up tonight. It's a very
Yes, you're very right, Ify. You know, I like to use this analogy, and I hope we can put this in perspective even as we are diving into this topic. I just want to give a shout out real quick. I have been bringing up your comments, but I see a lot of people are here in the comment section. I see Jillian. Hi, Jillian. I see Floyd Jones. Hi, Mr. Floyd. Good to see you. He says, consistently do the small things it takes to get to where you want to be. That's right, sir. That's so true. Jillian is saying, every day go in, be inspired, and transform your thinking. Awesome. And Euphemia, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. And if I'm not, just forgive me, my sister.
yeah, you feel me? Yeah.
Constant in one area is what she says. I would like to bring up this comment. I think this person is actually commenting from the group, so we don't have the person's name. I was trying to look, but I was getting a bit distracted. Says, Without commitment, you will never start, and without consistency, you will never finish." And this is a quote
Very
by
good.
Denzel
That's it.
Washington. I
Yeah.
feel like this is so on point. I don't know who that is in the group. Let us know your name. We can't see your name,
Yeah,
so we can
because
shout
every
you
every
out.
every great idea comes with a small steps in
Exactly.
consistency.
So if
Very
you
good.
don't commit from the beginning, you will never be able to start. And if you
No.
don't stay consistent, you will never finish because why? You will fall off the cliff. And
And
so it's one.
here's what people don't know. If you want to be taken seriously, be consistent. People will take you serious. It doesn't matter what you're doing, big,
That's so
little.
true.
People will take you serious when you are consistent. When people can close their eyes and say, if you go to that shop, he's open by 9 a.m.
Yes.
That is consistency. That is credibility.
If you let me
So
put
if
it this way, people will not notice you until you become consistent. You just talked about how the first time you came on live on Facebook, you almost fainted. Remember, that was what we said at the beginning. Do you know that if that was the only day, maybe you just felt like, oh my God, I
right,
almost died on camera. I'm not going back there again. If you won't be having this conversation,
no,
the only reason why we're having this conversation, why I know you, is because that was not the last day. Even though you felt awkward, maybe you didn't even like the sound of your voice, but you came back, you showed up. Even if you weren't sure, even if you didn't understand what you were doing, you showed up. Look at where you are today. People recognize you, people attach whatever it is you're doing to your brand. So people would forget you easily. People will not notice you. People will not notice your business. So if you're trying to bring about a difference, you're trying to make a change, and you're just there expecting that if you show up one time, then all of a sudden the whole world will come and bow at your feet. It won't, it doesn't work that way. So it depends on what is even your driving force in the first place. What is your driving force in the first place? Because if that driving force is, if you really committed to that thing that is driving you, even when all chips are down, you just will have to find I wish there was a different answer. That's why I just, for some reason, I'm becoming passionate about this consistency thing, because I see the struggle. I wish there was another mathematical equation and say, okay, if you don't want to be consistent, then do this. I'll be very happy to research it and come share with you all. But there's just no way.
but then
There's just no way.
how do you know the difference between what 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 is not meant for you and giving up? How do you know the difference between when you are meant to quit something and go to something better and giving up from something you really want? I think is a thin line too.
Let me say this. Maybe this will help a bit. Okay. So a lot of people, let's use business. Let's use business. A lot of people say, okay, I started business and it didn't work. And so I jumped into another business and it didn't work. And then I jumped into another business and it didn't work. Or I started this project, it didn't work. If you really go in and analyze, like sit on the table to have a discussion, party or whoever this is, you'll find out that a lot of times we really are not committing fully to one thing before you're giving up and saying, you know what, this is not me. This is not is not. There's nothing that doesn't work. If you do it consistently, at some point it will break. It will break. It will work. But it's still now going back to your question, right? Why did you start the thing that you're doing in the first place? Why are you on that course? Why are you on that journey? That's why I said for you to stay consistent and be able to see results, you need to know why you're doing the thing in the first place, right?
Right.
Because if that thing is not strong, if that thing is not enough motivation, if there's no higher purpose, it's easy for you to throw in the towel. But if you have a conviction, nobody will tell you. You know that this thing, this path I'm on, is where I'm supposed to be. You will do what it takes. You will do whatever it takes to be able to get the result that you need to get. So if I'm just gonna, just answer your question, I can't know for you. You know
Right.
for yourself. What is the conviction? That's why I always say follow your heart. Because
But
I
follow
can't
your
have your
heart
heart. I can't
sometimes
be.
can be deceptive, because a lot of people don't. A lot
I
of
said
people, because that heart of a thing. If you have not trained your heart, don't follow it. Oh. Your heart needs to be
no,
trained
no.
because it
When
is
I
that
say
same
follow
heart.
your heart, now we're talking about people that, don't forget, what we are emphasizing here is people that are in business or doing something and that are falling out. Maybe they are not persistent,
Right.
they're not able. So for somebody that has a strong conviction that this is what I want to do, I want to believe that that person is seasoned enough to know what they want.
Right.
Do you understand?
For me, I think
So of
when it
course,
comes to that, yeah, when it comes to that, when someone asks me that question, how do I know that what I'm quitting is not really what I'm meant to do? I say one thing: if you quit and you feel guilty about it, you have to start again. But if you quit, you don't feel any guilt about it. You don't feel anything about it. It was never meant to be.
meant to be in the beginning.
There's that, yeah, it is that inner spirit inside of you that will break you every single time. Someone said that nothing torments you more than the spirit of God. For those who believe in, though, for you, if you don't believe in, there's something that I don't know what you call it. Though.
Yeah,
It's
everybody
it's
believes
gonna,
something.
yeah,
So
whatever thing you think you believe in, it could be the universe. If you stop that thing and you don't feel any guilt, it was never meant to be. It's gonna be there. Once in a while, it comes back again. You will see something closely related to it on the internet. You feel sad.
and you feel
You
like,
know,
oh no, I'm supposed to be doing that. I'm supposed to be
you should be
there. I'm
doing it.
missing out.
And
That's your
funny
heart
enough, this
pricking
is,
you.
yeah, this is how I have a different interpretation about jealousy. And I said this before, and this is how people get jealous. That jealousy is not really a bad thing. Jealousy is a
Mhm.
directional signal
Seeing people do
reminding
the
you what you have the ability to do, but
what you
currently
couldn't
you
do.
lack the capability. When you get jealous, listen, let me mention one successful person in the world right now that is doing something. For instance, I don't see myself getting jealous of Elon Musk, for instance, and I will explain. I can be jealous about his money though, but what he does as a person, I don't see myself getting jealous because I'm not wired for those kind of stuff. But I see myself getting jealous of Eric Thomas. I feel myself being sad. What is he talking about? I think I can speak better than this person. Why? Because that is, I am being wired in such nomenclature in those areas. I know I can do better. So when you see yourself being jealous or talk about people in those kind of derogatory ways, sometimes it could be a directional signal giving you ideas of what you are supposed to be doing or the level you ought to be in life right now. So it gives you another clue because a lot of time we say, I have this great idea, but I don't think I can do this. I don't have what it takes. And I say this all the time. I think I remember saying this in our private discussion. Ideas, the most difficult aspect is the conceptualization of idea. If idea comes to you, it means you have the ability to accomplish it. But currently, again, you lack the capability. The problem why we get frustrated sometimes is that we want to use the ability we have when the idea came to run the idea. We are meant to grow every day. So, for
Mm.
instance, I'm gifted to speak, for instance. I know I can speak passionately and inspire, but in my bank of vocabularies, I'm limited. I don't have a lot of vocabulary to express myself. So how do I become a great speaker? If I have limited vocabularies in my English bank, how do I express myself if I don't know enough words or how to put words together? So what do? I have to learn. The dictionary has to be my best friend. All right. See, a lot of times we fail to understand that when you have idea and invention, something comes to you. The level at which you are when you receive that idea is not enough to sustain the idea in long run. You need to develop. You need to grow. You need to be educated. You have a lot of things you need to acquire to sustain the idea and the visions you have. It's good to be excited about the vision, but it doesn't stop there. You need to grow as an individual. That is why every single year we want to get a newer version of iPhone. You want to get a newer version of a car. You want to get a newer version of one Versace or the other. We upgrade everything but ourselves. So everything is in sequence. If you have a great idea, you want to find out on the other side, what do I need to do to be able to carry this idea to the next level? Because if you want to remain at the same level you were when the business idea came, you don't want to do no courses, no classes, no seminars, you will be stuck. Because at this point, you don't know how to even explain the idea you had 10 years ago, or 5 years ago, or even last month. So this gives you another clue that you were expected to grow. Because the faster you grow as an individual, the better and the faster even your ideas will come into realization. Mr. Very.
Yeah. If I want to take you back a bit, you were talking about you gave an instance where you said personally you won't be jealous or envious of somebody like Elon Musk, right? But for Thomas, can you just throw more light on that as it relates to consistency?
So what I mean by that is I believe that every single human being on earth, you came here for a mission. There is a natural gift for you. There is something that is given to you in a cloud of gold. Jay Shetty will say that your passion is your gift, is the universe gift to you. Your purpose is your gift to the universe.
Mm-hmm.
These two must work hand in hand for there to be real happiness accomplished in an individual's life. So the way I'm designed, I'm so prone. Like for instance, I will give you an instance. The difference between what you actually like and what you're passionate about. So
Excuse me.
we started talking about discipline, right? How you cannot be consistent without discipline.
Mm.
And when you're choosing this path, the most interesting or the most important thing you have to choose is discipline, not necessarily what you are passionate about. It's gonna be discipline. So I want to give you these instances. Now, for those who know me rather, I love to play soccer. I love soccer a lot. Sometimes I play 3 times a week, 4 times a week. If I have my time, I will play 7 days a week. But here's the thing: I do not have the discipline to train like professional soccer players do, 2 times a day or 3 times a day. Buy the keys. What I don't have the discipline. I'm not really in tune, but I can watch soccer. I'm watching the World Cup right now, but I don't have the discipline to train. But listen, Severi, if you start talking about purpose discovery and passion, I can listen to the tape all day. You can wake me up 3 a.m. in the morning and I'll start listening to the tape. See, I have the natural discipline,
Mm-hmm.
the power to discipline myself in that area. So it's not enough to choose what you are passionate about. You want to concentrate on what you have discipline. So, like I said, everybody, it comes with us naturally. So for me, why I cannot be jealous for Elon Musk, for instance, is because I'm not scientifically inclined. That is not my area. I don't mess with it. It doesn't attract me. I don't have flair for it. But I have flair for speaking, for training, corporate training, motivational speaking. I have flair for such things. So if I see someone doing better than me, I'm like, man, I know
I'm
I'm
supposed
better
to
than
be
this person. You get
there.
what I'm saying? So that's a directional signal that I'm supposed to be doing better.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
so it wasn't like it's not like oh, I can't be jealous of. Of course, I'm jealous about his money. If he
Yeah.
gives me
Just,
the money, I will
we
take the
need that
money.
money.
I need the money, but it's just that
One
we are all
percent.
designed differently. You
Yeah.
have your
I know what
areas.
you're saying. I wanted you
Yeah,
to, just
we
shed
are
more
all
light on
leaders
that.
in our own areas of influence. There's an area that you can become influential. You need to just identify that area, grow in it. Whatever thing you can lay your hands in that area, be consistent, be consistent around it. Like I said, someone made a statement. I think it was Euphemia that said, be consistent in one area. The universe is not looking for people that knows everything.
Everything.
The universe is looking for individuals that knows everything about a particular thing.
Thing.
So you want to bury yourself in one thing. And that is why in Unscripted Voices, we our book club is transitioning into separate groups. Now we're going to be reading books on a particular genre. If it is politics, let it be politics. If it is business, let it be business. If it is you know, corporate training, we just want to inundate ourselves fully on a particular genre for the next 15 to 20 months and watch what happens to you. Nobody will recognize you in that area. I tell people that if you, for any reason, you feel inadequate, you feel that when you go out with your friends, they don't recognize you, they don't think you're worth anything, just take your time, take books on a particular genre. It could be as simple as sports. It could be music. It could be something that you think that is not important, but just bury yourself in that area. In the next 12 months, when they start talking about it, anything that has to do with that area, when they hear you speak, they will listen. They will think you're a professor or something. Sometimes these things are not really as hard as they think it is. It just have to be the same thing we're talking about, being consistent in an area, and it doesn't matter how little that area is.
Yeah, that's right. The way to be consistent, a way that one thing that will help you to stay consistent is to try to minimize distraction. Okay.
Mhm.
And if you want to focus on one thing, I think we've addressed this point, focus on that thing. Like I said, everything works. You see somebody that
Everything.
just starts a church, you're like, okay, the audience is not my kind of audience. But if that pastor, whoever it is, the representative, keep showing up in that building, at some point he will attract his kind. So
Right.
everything works. Look for that area that you're trying to grow in. Look for that business that you're trying to grow. Identify with one that is of interest to you, because if it's not of interest, you will quickly quit. You will quickly throw in the towel, and then you'll be jumping all around. Settle for that one thing. Settle for that one goal and show up consistently for that thing. Trust me, it will break, you will break even.
Above all, Severa, I would say forgive yourself
Yes, when you feel fall short, right?
when you fall short.
Of course, because
Forgive
you will fall
yourself.
short. You
You will.
will. Trust me, I've been falling short, but I've just been getting up and going because um I was going to use a Nigerian English, but I don't know how much of our audience we have here. So let me not go that way. You will fall short. It's life. Life would happen, right? You will definitely fall short. Things are going to happen, but the growth, the
Mhm,
victory is in you being able to say, okay, I've fallen, but this is not the end for me.
mhm.
I'm going to get up and I'm going to keep going, facing that goal, that plan, or whatever it is that you have in mind. Okay. The important thing that I'm trying to, the reason why I've been talking about consistency and I'm bringing it up, this is like the third or fourth month now. And I've been, emphasizing on it. I think it was Tony Robbins. I listened, I think I was in one of his programs where he was talking about um, he saved some money at the beginning of his personal development journey. He was following all these. I think he had a particular, maybe I think it was Jim Rohn. He was going for Jim Rohn's program, if I'm not mistaken. He said he kept going. It might be somebody else, but one of those
Should
mentors
be
that
Jim
he,
Rohn. That's one of
yeah.
his
So
mentors.
he said he kept going for the program. Every year he would save money and go for the same program. Jim Rohn, if that's the particular story I'm highlighting here, we'll keep talking about the same thing in these programs.
Yeah.
So Jim Rohn wasn't changing the topic, he was saying the same thing. He said at some point he had to ask himself that, why am I saving my hard-earned money and coming here to listen to the same thing? He had to ask that his mentor. And guess what the person said? He said, the reason why I'm saying the same thing, or why I keep saying the same thing, and the reason why you keep coming back is because you haven't applied that thing. You haven't done it yet. So there's power in being consistent, right? If you want to fall a tree, I keep using this analogy. You may be wondering, how will I be able to pull down this mighty tree? The only way you can pull down the tree, if you really, really want to fall the tree, is to stay consistent. If every day you get your ask, my accent might not be pronouncing it well, and you're hitting on that tree, and guess what you're doing? You are hitting on the same spot. Mind you, I'm not saying you come today, you hit one part of the tree, another day you hit another part. That's what happens a lot of times. We're distracted. Today we'll go here, tomorrow we'll show up here, next tomorrow we'll show up here. It's hard to be consistent when you are not focused. If you keep
Yep.
hitting on that same spot on the tree, it may take 10 years, it may take 20, it may take two, depending on how consistent you are. One day, the tree will come down.
Yeah. I believe that. I believe that. And even as we round up, another thing I believe that affects most of us is self doubt. And this self doubt is so crazy when people you think have achieved everything that needs to be achieved, that ought to be achieved in life, come out and tell you that they were so afraid in some point in their life. You'll be like, you that I know like this afraid. But that's the
That's
point.
true.
At every point in someone's life, there has to be a time where you doubt yourself. But like I analyze and about dreams and ideas and visions, if it comes to you, you have the ability. If you are able to think about it, because if it is not for you, you can't think about it.
That's right.
If it is not meant for you, you can't comprehend it. Like as we're speaking right now, it's a very there are millions of ideas hovering all around us. I'm talking about $1 million ideas Do you know why we can't decode them? Because we don't have the capacity and the ability to decode them. We don't. Unfortunately, we don't. And that's why I think is Bob Proctor keeps talking about the subconscious mind. The more you elevate the subconscious mind, the more your mind is open to decode ideas and things begin to make sense around you. Just like Steve Jobs would say. Steve Jobs would say that we are not really the inventors of anything. We are just inspired to put one or two things together. And it's the same thing it works. So what I'm trying to say is that if you have the ability to think about an idea as business, you already have what it takes to accomplish it. Like I keep saying, you have the ability, but it's led for you to develop the capability. And that is why a lot of us struggle, because when you have the ability and you refuse or you are not able to develop the capability, then you start doubting yourself. Because what gives you confidence is the credibility that comes from the capacity you have to see that dream and vision through. That is why you keep growing every day. You keep learning every day. You keep going for conferences and classes. You keep just inundating yourself with knowledge that will prepare you to achieve the desired result that you've been wanting. It's a very
That's right. If you've been dropping a lot of nugget, like hot, 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 giving us hot, hot in here, right? If you all have been enjoying my guest today, Ify, give him a shout out in the comments section. Thank you
where
to
am I?
all of you. Alfred Perry says I'm the one in the group. So he's the one that has been commenting from the group. Thank you
Thank
so much, Alfred. We really appreciate you for keeping the comment section. Jillian, all of you who've been saying, I've been trying to highlight some of those comments here. It's really, really nice to have people, there
Yeah.
in the back end and all that. I think he said, with consistency, you would always, let's see, you always achieve positive and successful results. Exactly, Alfred. Thank you. You are so
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
That's
So yes, thank you. Euphemia, Euphemia. I'm trying to don't mind me. Let me just call you Chica, please. Let me not come and bite my tongue.
yeah.
Thank you, Chica. Thank you for appreciating Ify. He's been dropping it hot, 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 hot for us here. And of course, Jillian says, Ify Mako, great information, much needed. Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate you. As we begin to round up, I mean, we're supposed to just gonna give us a few minutes here and then we'll round up
All right.
for today so that we don't hold you all long. I want us to talk about the place of accountability and having the right network when it comes to consistency.
Oh,
If you want,
that cannot be overemphasized, especially if we're talking about people who have already started, and then you are facing the deep. I think the name I was looking for was Seth Godin. Seth Godin has the book Deep. It talks about that anything that is worth doing will. I think I wrote it down somewhere. See, anything that is worth doing, anything that is worth pursuing, we have a messy middle. Anything
yeah,
that is worth pursuing, we have a messy middle. So when you get to that messy middle, you don't want to associate with any kind of people, because any word you hear like this, that's it. You are
yeah, people
done.
that will say, you know what, you were not meant for it in the first place.
You are
We've not been
done.
seeing you. I already knew that online space was not your thing.
Because listen, that is why it is so important to be careful who you seek advice from,
Yeah,
because those people are as important as the advice itself. Most times people will advise you from their
fears.
viewpoint of their losses and wins. If I come to a severe on why something I'm starting is not working, if a severe has been consistent in failures, because consistency can be positive and negative. If you have been consistency in not overcoming your own struggles in those areas, guess where your advice is going to come from? So it becomes so important, your association. I remember the last time we had a phone conversation about this, right? Sometimes life will happen. Life will happen. And if it has not happened to you, it will come.
It
It's
will
not a
come.
prophecy, it's not a prophecy of doom. It will come. Challenges will come, all right? As I'm speaking right now, someone is out there watching me who's about to lose his job, about to lose his work, about to lose a family member, yet they are interested in business, yet they want to invest. Life will happen to you. Like Les Brown will always say, it will beat you down. And if you allow it, it will keep you there. So the people you have around you becomes very, very important because at
Mhm.
this point you are so vulnerable.
That's right.
The next step you will need to take does not come from you, it's gonna come from them. You
Mm.
can't trust it gets to a point you can't trust yourself no more because you have done all you think you can to make it in this aspect of life. Right now, you are looking up to people around you. So a slight word of encouragement can make a difference. And guess what? A single word of discouragement can
Make
put
a
you in a
difference.
place that you never come back from. So
That's
at this
true.
point, if you have never been positive or being around people who are positive, this is the time to do it because they will say that if you keep hanging around 11 broke people, 11 rich people, sooner than later, you're going to be the 12th person. All right. So you are the average of the number of people you hang around with. So you want to make sure that your circle is updated. Your circle is what you need. The reason why you need that circle is not just when things are going on well, is when things are going the way it is going right now. As you watching me right now, you feeling that heat and you feeling that disappointment. You feel nothing is going. And this is where your circle becomes very important. So we cannot really overemphasize why you need to choose people around you, especially at this point in time.
Yeah.
What was the second question you asked?
It was the both. I married them together. I was saying, let's share some light on the, the importance of having good accountability and your network, right? Your circle. Because
Mhm.
if you share your vision with a good circle, they'll be able to keep you accountable.
I see Greg. You see Greg?
I see
I
Greg.
see
I,
Greg,
I
my
had
man.
to, that's why I brought up. I was so happy to see him also, right? I see him.
I
Hi,
made a
Greg.
post. I made a post about it all the time, and he was saying, I said something like, uh, don't just focus on positivity. I forgot how I said it, but he said, "Man, I'm always positive. I, no matter what I try to explain," he said, "Man, forget it. I am positive." I tried to
Yes.
make him make sense. He said, "No,
Mm-mm.
that is a spirit. You gotta know what you believe in. It
Trust
doesn't
me.
matter how much someone is trying to sway you, persuade you. You gotta know what you believe in." And that's the kind of spirit we're talking about, right? So when you surround yourself with such people, it's gonna pay one day. It's
Yes.
gonna pay one day because I was having this discussion with someone sometime. It was asking about his kids or how to have better training for your kids, and he's thinking that the kids are having bad association. How can I choose? I said you can't choose friends for your children. However, you can put them in an environment that would influence their friendship.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all the environment that matters, where you put yourself.
Yeah. Setting
And,
them up
and,
for
and, and I asked
success
someone, if you check your Facebook, right,
in
the
life.
people you have as your Facebook friends, with the knowledge you have about people on your timeline, if you have that knowledge right now about them before they added you as a friend, would you still accept them?
Hmm. Good
Sometimes you
question.
need to reevaluate. I have a bunch of friend requests right now, but I just don't want to accept anybody in my side.
Mm-hmm.
It's about me because in this life, you come first.
Yep.
What am I going to feed off you being my friend? What am I going to feed off you listening to you? Because one day, no matter how strong you are as an individual, one day If you keep associating yourself with me, one day you will be influenced by one of my actions, one of my sayings, one place I always go, one day. And that just one time might make or break you as an individual. So we cannot really
Right.
overemphasize that, because that place is your recovery point. The association is so
Exactly.
important.
Yeah, because when you're not, when let's say life happens, 'cause I'm not gonna say if, when life happens, your circle can play a vital role in helping you get back up, in helping you coming back on track and saying, you know what, I'm gonna pick up from where I left off. I
Right,
know I may have dropped the ball, but I see Miss A going. I see Miss B going. I don't want them to leave me behind. I know that if they can do it, I can do it as well. So
right.
that's why you need to be very, very mindful of the people that you have around you, because they can, like you said, they can actually make you or break you. Wow,
True.
wow, wow, wow. We have said a handful. Craig is still commenting here, said, always forget, right?
Right.
Oh, he's even saying not even one day, it's every day, right? He knows better. This man has so much experience. It's not even.
And that's the funny thing, is that that's the funny thing about it, is that great minds don't always think alike.
Yeah,
I'll switch that around. They say great minds flock together. Great minds don't always have to think alike. So Greg, he's my man. And then
yeah,
Mensah too. When I'm in some deep, thinking, there are some people I'll have to call to say, man, let's talk about this. Mensah is one of them. I don't know why he's not here yet. He's my man.
yeah. He'll probably
He's my
catch the
homie.
replay.
And John Ugulu, USA, the network is so important. It is really so important. Is like I said, you gotta get to a point where the thing that will move you to the next level is not gonna be your decisions, your thinking. You're just gonna leave it to people around you, all right, to be able to have a better perspective, basically.
Wow, wow. I feel bad that we'll have to, we're coming to the end of this, and because it's so interesting, and I'm sure you guys are, I can tell from the comments and the way you guys are popping us up from there that we're having, good discussion here, but
But I
everything that
must
has
say
a
this,
beginning.
Severe, before I must say this for those who are watching right now. I must say this, that this lady is doing an awesome job. And I say this in
Oh,
the middle of the conversation earlier, but I want to re-emphasize this, because people are going to tell you the different stuff you need to do to start up your business, how you need to invest, how you need to do that. But nobody's talking about life happening to you. And this is where this lady becomes so exceptional, because she's combining life coaching and then starting up your business. Now she understands, but that's why I say that in today's program, we were talking about it earlier, we're gonna be vulnerable. I'm going through inconsistency right now that is killing my heart every single day. So this is not a conversation of people who are up there versus people who are down here. All right. So that's why I think that the thing you're doing is so strategic. It is highly needed in this point in time in the world, where people are going through it and yet they have visions. They are going through it, yet they have dreams. They are going through it, yet they have business ideas. And bringing these people together and making sure that the circumstances we find ourselves does not jeopardize the visions we have. It is so strategic. It's so exceptional. I want to give you kudos for this job. Keep doing it.
oh.
We're behind you.
Thank
We're
you, thank
behind you.
you. We're all soaring and flying together. There's
Right.
Operation Leave No One Behind, right?
Right.
That's why I'm talking about your network. For me, I felt like just talking about this topic and just bringing somebody that is up there is not going to be relatable, right? Because
Mm.
on our level, I want to see, I want to win, but I think what will give me more joy is for me not to win alone. It's for me to
Mm.
win and then look to my left and look to my right and see that my brothers are with me, my sisters, especially people that we practically started together, right? I feel like
Right.
that's when people say it's lonely on the top. I'm like, okay, when you were going, who did you, you who did you, who did you guide along, or who did you say? Even if they are not on the same level, they should be close to you so that you won't be lonely for a long time. That's just the way I see life, and I feel like This is something that we all are struggling with. I'm struggling. It's taking me a lot to get back up. And if I look around my circle, I can tell because I'm going through or I've gone through it. I can tell that, okay, this person, okay, what can I do to help, this person to get out of whatever it is? Just come back again and get started and get going on that thing that really, really lights you up, on that thing that you're passionate about, on that thing that is your purpose, that thing that is your calling. There's no giving up here. Like I said, it's operation. We're doing this together. If you fall, you get back up. We're going. Stay consistent
There's no
because
time to stay down.
there's no time to stay down. Just
No
clean
time
your
to stay
eyes. If you're crying, clean your eyes, dry your tears, and keep going because you see this thing, we got to win. We have
man.
goals, we have
Listen,
vision.
why is that
We trust
always?
you.
It's always when the program is ending, then we start entering to another mood. Because
I
the
know,
mood,
right?
the mood we are now is more. Listen, let me say this to them. Nobody cares about you.
True.
Nobody cares about you. You lose, you win, you quit. People don't give a hoot about you. People have their own problems. So why are you allowing this little setback to stop you? Because you're thinking about what people will think. Oh, I started a business, it's not working again. You're being shy, you're being shameful about it. Shameful about what? If you were the only, it is so crazy that right now 80% of the world are living for others.
True.
We are just living for others. If you are the only individual in the world today, would you still quit? Would you still think about what people would think, what people would say? All these things they are in your mind. And the people keep talking about don't allow, Les Brown always said, don't allow what people think to become your reality. But the tricky thing is that what is not about what people think, it's about what you think people are thinking.
That's right.
It's all in your mind. Nobody's thinking about you. Nobody cares about you. Nobody's seeing your failure. Nobody's seeing you. And you are putting all those things in your mind and you are limiting yourself and you are denying yourself an opportunity to start life again. I'm telling you tonight, people don't give a hoot about you. They have their own problems they are facing. You are stopping yourself by yourself. I always use this favorite quote. It's a very from Charles Horton Cooley. I always say this all the time. He said, I am not what you think I am, and I am not what I think I am, but I am what I think you think I am. We are always the one defining what people think we are by ourselves. And that is why it's so important you watch your self talk, how you talk to yourself. Because how you talk to yourself will determine how you interpret what people say to you. If they call you failure and you think you're a failure, it's not that they say you're a failure, it's because you think you are a failure in the first place. So, what you think about yourself is very vital. So, I'm letting you know right now if you ever started and you stopped and you feel like stopping, get right back up.
Get up.
There is
There's no
nothing
time.
wrong in stopping. There
Get
is
up.
nothing wrong in
Get up.
feeling depleted. But there is everything wrong in not getting up. It's a very
Yeah. If you quit, you lose.
mhm.
Like he said earlier, people forget you.
If yeah, people forget
The
me now.
people that we seeing, the people that people are cheering on, are the people that are showing up.
If you are not consistent, you can't say it didn't work.
You can't say it didn't work. So get up. Is anytime you wake up. This is an African proverb. Anytime you wake up is your morning.
Right.
It doesn't
Hmm.
matter what you've done in the past. I'm paraphrasing it. It doesn't matter what you've done in the past. The day you wake up and recognize that, okay, this is where I am. I'm starting afresh. I'm starting all over. I'm starting now.
Mm.
That is your money. Start from where you are. Like if he just mentioned, don't care about what people say. People are more bothered. People are in their struggles. People have issues. Trust me, it is the people that they are seeing. People don't even remember if you were not because it's just that for when you're consistent, they keep seeing you, you're showing up for one thing, you're showing up for one thing. People don't see your failures as much as you are the one that is seeing the failure. So don't let those little balls that you dropped keep you from not staying consistent and showing up for your life and also for your business. Okay. Oh, stop here. If we it's me and you know we can go 3 hours talking, even just on
I
the phone.
know.
So let's
Right.
stop here for the benefit of our guests. We've gone almost an hour and 30 minutes, but this is quality 90 minutes right here. If you're catching this on replay, please don't hesitate to give us a hashtag replay. For those of you that joined us live, we really, really appreciate you. We're hugging you from the screen. We hope that you've gotten one or two things, from all the things that we've shared here. And we do sincerely hope that if you have counted yourself out just because you dropped the ball, let
Right.
this be a source of motivation and encouragement, because trust me, I have been dropping the ball as well. If he just told you he's been dropping the ball, but we're not giving up, we're still here, we're talking. Look at me talking. I was almost going to say I'm not going to do this live, because as I was going to go pick my kids from school, just within the 1 hour drive or 1 hour 30 minutes drive, I coughed like maybe 25 times. So I was like, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to go live, because I don't want to embarrass myself. I don't, people are going to be wondering what's wrong with her. She's going to cough. But I haven't even, so that's why once you are committed to that thing that you want to do, trust me, as you get on the journey, the universe, if that's what you want to call it, will make
Right.
that thing possible for you. So don't give up, don't give in, don't quit, keep going. If you stop, you lose. You don't want to lose.
You heard
Let's
it. If you
know
stop.
if right. If you
And
have a
I
little
like the
victory.
fact that you did a live from the seaport.
From where?
The seaport, like the sheep are behind you. The sheep are you going? Are you joining the sheep?
I'm always at the sea. This is what lights me up.
So
I'm
very it
always
was it
in the
was it
sea.
was it was a nice show tonight. It was a nice
Yes,
show
I
tonight.
know. People are gonna watch this and they're gonna wonder who is this great man that Esemere had a chat with today. Where can they find you, Ify? How can they get in touch with you? Let them know what
Uh,
you're doing and all the great things. Just share with the audience,
yeah, they
please.
can find me on my all my social media handles. Ify McCoy, Ify McCoy, Ify McCoy, Ify McCoy. But we have like I said, the next stage of our book club is starting next week Sunday, I think 11th, and we're gonna be reading I don't know, it's coming up, the 7 habits of highly effective people. So what we do is we do chapter analysis every other week. All right. So the group comes together, we analyze what we've learned. And the great thing about this book analysis is that you can easily write your own book without knowing, because you're jotting down the ideas, like you study it, you making inquiries, you having a analysis, and people are bringing in their own opinions and ideas from different backgrounds, cultural background, you know, all these things. Because when you read a book yourself, you can just read it once, but when you read it with a community, you read it like 10 times already. All right. So the next chapter analysis is starting on the 11th of December. That's in 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks actually. So if you want to be part of the book club, all you gotta do is to let us ever know that she can let me know, or perhaps join Unscripted Voices.
Just
And of
tell them.
course,
Yeah, that's where I was going. So
yeah,
he has a group called Unscripted Voices. If you want to see more of him
what we
and
do.
hear more of all these wise words, you want to be in that group. So tell
We
people
do a lot
about
of
the
things
group
in
so
our
they can
secret
go follow.
voice. The programs are starting back up. The shows are starting back up, right?
Yes, yes,
The
yes.
the Squid Game Unscripted, the challenge show. Listen, there's no other place you want to be if you want to master the craft of public speaking. If you
Yep.
really, 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 really want to just get yourself out there. Like we always emphasize, if you want to kill any kind of fear, you want to start from public speaking, because
Yep.
over 70% of the world today are scared of public speaking. Over 80%. That is incredibly too much. So if you are part of this 80% and you want to stretch yourself, because over there we apply the law of rubber band to stretch you. all right, to make sure you come out of your comfort zone because there's no growth in that place. So you want to be in the group Unscripted Voices right now. To join the group is still free. All right. So it's an awesome place, it's an awesome community. You're gonna have fun, right? So yeah.
It's not going to be free forever. So if you guys heard that, you want to go in there now and be part of the community. It's a very great community. I am also in the community. So just search online on Facebook, Unscripted Voices, and the admins will be able to let you get in. You want to be in there, consume all the content. But like you said, one of the greatest fear in the world is public speaking. A lot of people are looking at us on camera now and wondering, I don't know how they are doing that. Me, I can't on camera on my face. That's why you need to be in unscripted voices, right?
Right,
Because
right.
you will learn the basics. You will be on the hot seat. You know, it's
It's
not
like a
that.
veil. It's like a veil. Once you remove that veil, you're good.
It's not that hard. Me personally, I love the camera. Once I turn on the camera, if I turn on this camera now, I may not even be smiling as much. But once I turn on the camera and the camera is on me, I am very excited, and it's like one of my superpowers. So it's something that you can develop. I was not always like this. I used to be scared. I couldn't stand in front of a crowd, but I had to work on it over the years. So don't be scared. Okay. So go to Unscripted Voices and request to join. And you see more of Ify Mccoy. If you're not following him online, look for him. That's his name right there. Ify Mccoy. You won't miss him on all social media handle. He is there and is very present. Great man. Thank you so much, Ify, for coming. I've enjoyed speaking with you. We're gonna be signing off now. Like I said, if you're watching this on replay, please don't hesitate to leave us a hashtag replay. We'll come back to the comment section when we can and engage with you. Do us a favor, share this live. I think Alfred asked, how can we share this broadcast, or how can we bring more people in? You can go ahead and go to Dr. Esevere, the 5 to 9 CEO page, and it's a business page. Dr. Esevere, you'll be able to find it, and then you can share from there. Okay, you won't be able to share from the group if you're watching from the group, or if you go to that page, it's a business page, and then you'll be able to share to platform, share it to individuals. Let people hear this word. Just, you never know who this can help. Just by showing up, someone's life might be elongated. Just by showing up, people's dreams can be accomplished. Just by showing up, you will be putting a smile on someone's face. Thank you so much, Ify.
Bye, guys.
We're signing out. Bye for now. Bye bye.